A WWE superstar has scored their first movie role, and an AEW wrestler has been removed from the roster. But first we have the backstage reaction to MJF's pipe bomb. According to Fightful Select, who spoke with several wrestlers within AEW, when asked how much of a work or shoot the promo was, they would respond with, "It's always been a work on MJF's side," as well as "It's definitely a work now" from somebody else. One talent would reveal that if the actions of MJF over Double or Nothing weekend were a work, then they would feel disappointed for various reasons. First, MJF and Tony Khan spoke with them in confidence that there were legit issues between them, which is generally believed across the board. It was added that Tony Khan has been known to be honest with the locker room and isn't known to work them. Thirdly, many talents were left annoyed by the fact that MJF no-showed the Double or Nothing meet and greet, which meant they had to stay longer to do the extra work to make up for his absence, with the roster not being aware of it ahead of time. The suggestion that MJF is always working was repeatedly debunked by members of the roster, with one talent stating that if he acted like MJF all the time, he probably wouldn't still be working here, adding that they had noticed MJF being more frustrated since spring last year. A longtime friend of MJF would note that he has been adamant with them that he does have heat with Khan and that it's not a complete work. This does suggest that the contract talk and the legit heat between MJF and AEW President Tony Khan does exist, and that MJF was just given a platform to air his grievances after a meeting in LA where a potential agreement was made. Although it is impossible to tell which elements are fact or fiction at this point, which is exactly why it works. Nobody Fightful spoke to could verify whether Tony Khan has been in on it the whole time. But what do you make of the whole situation? Let me know in the comments down below, and we have some more MJF news coming up later in the video. Next up, we have to correct a story from yesterday's video about a leaked match at the Forbidden Door. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio on Wednesday night, Dave Meltzer would reveal that there is a match booked for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship with a popular AEW wrestler set to challenge for the belt. Dave would note that he has seen the lineup for the show, with Hangman Page versus Kazuchika Okada being planned for the title, as well as CM Punk versus Hiroshi Tanahashi, which is likely for the AEW World title, along with some multi-man tag matches between factions from both sides. In an update posted to the Wrestling Observer Twitter account, the record was corrected and they wrote, "Per Dave Meltzer, his Wrestling Observer Radio note last night that Hangman Page vs Okada was tapped for Forbidden Door based on a lineup he had seen was incorrect. That match is not planned for the pay-per-view as the lineup is being kept a secret." It's not clear how the mistake was made, with him saying that he saw the lineup, but either way, the plan doesn't seem to be as he reported. Forbidden Door goes down later this month on June 26th, and we currently know just one of the matches that will take place between Punk and Tanahashi. But what matches do you want to see go down on the show? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, Matt Hardy turned down a big AEW role. Debuting in AEW in late March 2020, Matt Hardy would appear on Dynamite as the Broken Matt persona, joining the Elite ahead of the original and ultimately scrapped Blood and Guts match. Since then, he has gone on to become Big Money Matt before reuniting with his brother Jeff as the Hardy Boys. Well, this week on his Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast, he revealed that he was offered a very different role on the AEW roster, that of the Exalted One of the Dark Order. And Matt would say, "I actually had a couple of options in the beginning. I know they had offered me the Exalted One with the Dark Order. They had been offered to me by the Bucks actually, and I guess Tony was cool with that too, and they were thinking that'd be a cool deal. They were definitely wanting to take those guys in a heel direction, but I felt that after that thing with Randy in WWE, I should debut as a babyface. I had suggested Broken Matt, and that's what I wanted to do." The Bucks were cool with it, and then Tony Khan was very open to working with it, and we were going to do whatever we could to make Broken Matt work. Unfortunately, COVID came in and the world changed, and obviously Broken Matt, which I feel like is a character that really depends on audience participation, debuts in the first ever AEW Empty Arena pandemic era show, so that was Broken Matt's bad luck. Ultimately, Brody Lee would take on the role and make it his own, revitalizing the Dark Order before challenging Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship at Double or Nothing 2020. Matt would reveal that he knew Brody would fill the spot if he didn't, and added that he encouraged him to do it. And he said, I did know that if I didn't decide to do the Exalted one, I knew Brody Lee would get it, and I was like, man, that's a great spot for him. He's gonna kill it. I wanted Brody to be the Exalted one, and I know I said this in the past already. He was super appreciative that I teased I was going to be the Exalted one. I did that all the way, you know. I was already doing it when I was doing stuff with WWE. I was doing all these teases to just pop myself and just to keep people talking about me, because that's one of the most important things I think in this day and age. You have social media, and if you can use that to keep fans and the consumers talking about you, keep you in the conversation, it's a very important thing to promote yourself in this day and age. Whilst it would be interesting to see how Matt Hardy would have approached the role, Brody did make it his own and saved the dwindling faction from obscurity. But how do you think Matt Hardy would have got on as the Exalted one? Would he have been broken during the time, or would it have been something completely new? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next up, a WWE superstar has landed their first movie role. Last night it was revealed that Raw's Liv Morgan is set to appear on the silver screen alongside some of Hollywood's biggest names as she joins a cast that includes the likes of Uma Thurman and Samuel L. Jackson. Produced by Yale Entertainment, Liv will appear in a movie called The Kill Room, although the extent of her role is currently unclear. Deadline.com would describe the movie itself and wrote, "The film centers on hitman Reggie, his boss, an art dealer, and their money laundering scheme that accidentally turns the hitman into an overnight avant-garde sensation, forcing the dealer to play the art world against the underworld. Morgan will play an art purist who bemoans the vapidness of art dealers." Morgan is currently active on WWE's Raw brand and recently aligned with former Bullet Club leaders Finn Balor and AJ Styles, with several nods to the two men's time in Japan taking place. With that said, do you think Liv Morgan will be too sweet in The Kill Room? Let me know in the comments down below. And finally, a top AEW star has been removed from the official roster. Following MJF's vicious pipe bomb promo on Wednesday's LA edition of AEW Dynamite, the angle has continued to develop on social media and on the company's website. Eagle-eyed fans have noticed that MJF has now been removed from the official roster page on AllEliteWrestling.com, with his merchandise being stripped from ShopAEW.com. The store now shows a 404 error. On top of this, AEW have yet to upload the promo to their official YouTube channel, which is likely designed to show that the promotion does not condone the actions or words of Maxwell. AEW are also copyright striking any clips of the promo on Twitter and likely YouTube, although this is 100% the wrong play, as it's important for people to see what happened beyond the 1 million people that tuned in on TBS. Saying that, AEW do have a history of strikes, so it's probably just part of that and possibly not part of the angle. According to WrestleNomics, whilst the show as a whole drew an average of 969,000 viewers in the United States, the most viewed quarter-hour segment was the 15 minutes that included the first 6 minutes of the MJF promo, which brought in 1,060,000 viewers, the highest of the night. It's worth noting that the finish of the FTR CM Punk 6-man tag match was also included in these numbers, although there is a jump from 1,044,000 from the first 15 minutes. Until we get the minute-by-minute ratings, which MJF claims to be second in the whole company for, we won't know the true impact or viewership of his segment. But with that said, the pipe bomb seems to be the most watched thing on the show. Viewers would drop to an average of 900,000 for the next 15 minutes after the promo, which included the return of Miro against Johnny Elite. What will be more telling is what happens next week if MJF were to be advertised, to see how much interest the angle has actually captured. If AEW stop striking the clips on social media and allow it to go viral, it would certainly help their cause, but we'll just have to wait and see. And before you go, make sure you check out the 12 most obscure WWE appearances from AEW wrestlers.